Hello and welcome to our bonus video from the documentary series Innocence Lost. I'd like to start this off by saying that I'm truly grateful to be able to provide you with this content and hopefully answer some of the questions that you might have about the Jennifer Ertman and Elizabeth Pena case. As you no doubt know, Jennifer Ertman and Elizabeth Pena were two teenage girls who grew up in Houston, Texas back during the early 1990s. They were tragically murdered on the evening of June 24, 1993, while attempting to walk through a public park. In this video series, we'll be taking a look at the backstories of both girls, the options that they had available to them for getting back home safely, and the reason why I believe this crime was allowed to take place. This particular video will cover the girls' pathway through Jester Park, the location where they were attacked, and also some very important information that could explain their decision for going through the park. Please strap yourself in as we get ready to dive into the bonus content of Innocence Lost. On the evening of June 24, 1993, Jennifer Ertman and Elizabeth Pena would attempt to walk through a public park in Houston, Texas. The reason for doing so was to make Elizabeth's 11:30 p.m. curfew. This is the official explanation that was given as to why they went through the park. However, I'm here today to tell you that I believe the official narrative is completely false. While it's true that the shortcut that they took through the back of the Clearbrook apartment complex probably is faster than taking their normal path back up TC Jester Boulevard, the truth is that you can actually take this shortcut without going through the park or even up to the railroad tracks. The shortcut that the girls took involved walking to the back of an apartment complex, pulling back a loose section of fence, and then sliding through. Once they were on the other side, the girls would have had three ways of getting back to TC Jester Boulevard, a street which they would ultimately have to cross in order to get back home. Their first option is by far the simplest, and that is to walk directly east, roughly 600 yards, to TC Jester Boulevard. The second option is to walk up to the railroad tracks, cross the trestle, then follow the railroad tracks out to TC Jester Boulevard. The girls' third option is to walk up to the railroad tracks, cross the trestle, then immediately descend down a hill, and follow it north until they reach a blind hill which they must descend. They'll then need to walk through a field before they can finally exit the park. Now that we understand the three paths that the girls had available to them, I'd like to point out that the distance of the exit points for all three paths is exactly the same. In fact, it could be argued that paths 2 and 3 are significantly slower than path 1 due to the difficult terrain and the fact that the girls would have had to travel west, a direction that would have taken them away from their destination. If time was truly the reason for going this way, then why choose the slowest and most difficult path? In this part of the video, I'm going to show you the trail that the girls took, which would have led them up to the railroad tracks and where they encountered the gang. The girls would have started their journey into the park by walking up to the trail that you see on the bottom of the screen. If you look closely, you can see a nearby city light. This would have most likely been one of the very few sources of light in an otherwise very dark and secluded park. Keep in mind that in 1993, LED lights were not used, meaning that this park would have been far darker in 1993 than it would be today. This tree line runs parallel with the fence, and as I mentioned in my previous video, it would have made it impossible for the girls to have seen what was around the corner. After slipping through the fence, the girls would have headed north along the trail and up to the tracks. If we switch over to a ground view, we can see that the overgrowth from the nearby trees blocks the view of the path leading up to the railroad tracks. The girls would have had to walk around this tree before heading north, up towards the tracks. It was at this point that they encountered the Sandoval brothers, two of the gang members that did not bother the girls. I believe, unfortunately, that it was very shortly after this point that they encountered the rest of the gang. What I simply do not understand about this situation is why wouldn't the girls have turned around once they heard the gang members up ahead? They probably would not have been able to see them until they were close to the railroad tracks. However, these guys were all drunk and would have most likely been swearing at each other loudly. While we'll never know the exact reason for why Jennifer and Elizabeth decided to take this fateful journey into TC Jester Park, we do know that even by taking this shortcut, that the girls could not have made it back for Elizabeth's 11:30 p.m. curfew, nor could Jennifer have made it back to her house before midnight. This shortcut had no significant impact on the time in which they would have arrived back home. Thus, it's fair to say that they went through the park for reasons that are different from the ones that were previously reported. It's strange to think that the parents would have dropped their daughters off at the Silver Creek apartment complex at around 8 o'clock in the evening. They knew that the girls didn't have plans to spend the night at Gina Escamilla's apartment complex, and they also knew that it was already getting late and that they would have been walking back home in the dark, the most dangerous time of the day for Houston, and also a time when both sets of parents would have been home. Sandra Ertman had spoken to Jennifer when the girls were over at the Silver Creek apartment complex, yet neither set of parents made arrangements to pick the girls up and give them a ride back home.